What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and this is actually my second time doing this video because the first time I just went off on this rant, and I just it was one of those situations where when you do something and it's like you think about it and it's like, you know what, let me redo that, and before I do anything else. But I had to take a moment to adjust because that right there, seeing Washington lose 38-14 was bad enough. Jaden going down with a dislocated elbow was even worse. And it in fact is a dislocated elbow. I saw it on the replay. Like, when he went down, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. But when they did the replay and I saw that thing dislocate, I was like, he's done for the season. He's done for the season. I didn't talk about the game in the last one, so that video won't be coming out. I won't come out, but I will hit on the one thing that I was basically going off on in that video. But I need to talk about the game. The game was a disaster. I mean, to start out 28 to nothing, like that was just insane. It was like, you know, Sam Darnold was just, you would have thought that Sam Darnold was the second coming of Joe Montana. How he was just sitting up there, more like Dan Marino. How he was just like hitting receivers for touchdowns like it was nothing. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba had 119 yards receiving, and I think it was just the beginning of the second quarter. I mean, the man had 119 receiving yards in the first half. I mean, it might have been the first quarter going into the second quarter. 119 receiving yards. Torrey Holton had 2 touchdowns already. This team is terrible. It's a terrible team, and I'm gonna be honest. It just felt like this has been a very unlucky season. A very unlucky season. Sam Darnold was practically perfect in the first half. Perfect. Did not miss on a single completion. Second half, that's when he became Sam Darnold again. But he's playing very well, and we knew he was playing very well. And it was just crazy. It was so disheartening to see us go down 28-0 so early in the game. Like, it felt like, because when that happened, I was like, well, dang, are they even showing up today? Is it too cold outside? Like, what's happening that they aren't showing, they're not putting their best effort forward? And yeah. And it's just that thing where you sit up there and it's like, yo, what's happening to this team? This has been a very disastrous season this year. Very disastrous. We dealt with all the injuries, and any and everything that could happen did happen, and it just went downhill from there. Like, there's nothing this team can do to recover the season. The season is done. It's done. And I understand that most people are going to be like, it's 9 games. It's 9 games, but when your star goes down, it's bad. When your second star goes down, it's worse. When all your stars practically go down, that's when it becomes a problem. Because this game saw a lot of injury. Like, that's another thing about this. This game saw a lot of injuries. You saw Luke McCaffrey go out early. We saw Trey Amos get injured early. We saw Lattimore get injured. I mean, it got to a point that it started to get very weird how everything was happening. Then the crushing blow of Jaden Daniels. Now, mind you, we already got guys already injured. And here we are with our superstar, injured now. And done for the season. Like, everybody can say he's going to come back and all. Look, he's done for the season. He is done for the season. I don't want to discredit the Seattle Seahawks because they did a fantastic job. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They did everything that made sense. And they didn't let up. I mean, they came out and they said, yeah, we'll steamroll y'all and hopefully y'all enjoy it. They said that before the game this was when the score was 21-0. They said the Seattle Seahawks team, players on the team was sitting up there telling the fans in the stands, hey, you might as well go home now. You might as well go home now. And the fans were like, nah, it's still 3 quarters to go. How crazy a statement is that? Think about that. Players on another team up 21-0 are telling your fans, go home because this game is over in the first quarter. The first quarter. Think about the level of disrespect you gotta have to tell a fan base in their home stadium, go home in the first quarter, and they're only down 3 scores. That is the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. And nothing really went well. I mean, yeah, we scored a couple touchdowns, but nothing really went well. Zach Ertz, he doesn't catch anything. He doesn't catch anything. John Bates, Jaden Daniels threw a hot read to John Bates. That didn't work out. It was one of those games that no matter what happened, it was a disaster from beginning to end. And it just wasn't going to get any better. And the sad part about that is that there was nothing nobody could have done to prevent what happened. No, there's nothing no one could have done. Not a single soul. There's nothing Jaden could have done. And I'm pretty sure the conversation is going to go to the fact of Jaden being taken out. Should have taken him out. Look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This was probably the best thing to happen. And I'm not saying it in the sense of it should have happened. The thing about it is that if he didn't get hurt in this game, it would have happened in another game down the line. And we would be right back here again, saying the exact same thing. I mean, we were already saying it in the beginning of the season when he hurt the knee. Then all of a sudden he goes to Dallas and hurts his hamstring. And now here he is again in a game, just coming back. Season done. Season is done. Now, I'm going to say this because I know a lot of fans. What I'm getting ready to say is going to probably have a lot of fans sitting up in here thinking I'm crazy. And this was the extent of my rant. And understand, I went on for about almost like a good 20 minutes on this in the old video. Contrary to what may be believed or what people may think about this season. Oh, it's, these type of things just happen, and it is what it is, and you can't think like that, and the question that keeps coming over everybody's mind is, why did this happen like this season? What was it about this season that all of a sudden everybody's injured, nobody's healthy, everything's gone down, the trade negotiations didn't go well, we didn't really do much in free agency, Marshawn Lattimore's back, but he's on and off, Trey Amos is great, but Mikey Sanders still is having a sophomore slump. Hell, to be honest, Mikey's having a sophomore slump, Jaden was having a sophomore slump, Brandon Coleman was having a sophomore slump. Mikey and Brandon, they're in third. They're in their second year. Brandon's in his second year. Mikey's in his third year. It seems like all our rookies are having their slumps. It's all our former rookies are having their slumps this year. So, yeah, but. Again, the question is, why did this happen to us? Why did it happen to us in a season that was so promising, so few, with everybody feeling like there's an opportunity for us to overtake the Eagles and become Super Bowl champions? And there's only one thing that I can really come out with. And I know a lot of y'all getting ready to disagree with me real fast. But to me, it seemed like the moment it was announced, our season went downhill. It's the uniforms. It's the uniforms. It's the connecting with the past. It's the name. That's why this team went down this year. The uniforms and connecting back with the past. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that you were trying to honor Art Monk. But we didn't have to honor him in those uniforms. We could have just put his name in the rafters, retired his number, and let it be. We didn't have to wear those uniforms. And a lot of people will sit up there and talk about, John, we won Super Bowls in those uniforms. We haven't won anything really since 1992. And to me, I feel that those uniforms, that name, is cursed. I just feel it's cursed. And I'm not talking about the colors. I'm talking about the uniforms themselves. The name itself. It's all cursed. We haven't seen anything good happen in those uniforms. Nothing really substantially good. A lot of the tragedies and the tragicness of what we've seen past 1992, there's some fans that have never seen success in those uniforms. But when you think about that, when you really analyze that, with the moment they announced those uniforms, Terry's negotiations was all over the place because Adam Peters wanted to be a tough negotiator. We weren't doing nothing in the free agency. The free agency just went downhill for us. Couldn't bring nobody in, couldn't bring nobody back. Was focused on bargain shopping. Then sit up there and you talk about the fact that here we are, Terry comes in, he gets injured. John Bates gets injured. Then next thing you know, Jaden gets injured the first time. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Terry gets injured again. Jaden gets injured for a second time. We lose Dietrich Wise to the season. Lose Will Harris to the season. Lose Dorrance Armstrong to the season. and it just got disastrous and more disastrous as it kept going on. As it kept going down that hill. And I know a lot of people want to sit up there and say, John, I got memories of the Redskins and those uniforms, and that's fine, but guess what? Those are what they are, they're memories. The person you did those things with, the people you were with, the times that you had, that doesn't do anything in regards to times that you had outside of this team with that person. the issue I have the problem with the most is that people don't understand that when it comes to those uniforms and that name, it's cursed. It's cursed. And we got to move forward. That's why when we were winning last year, and I sat up there and I said, y'all, we are the Commanders. The point of me saying that was because for once we were getting a fresh start. We were actually starting to see victory. We were starting to see growth, development, change. We saw all that. All the things that we wanted. No more Dan Snyder history. No more failed free agencies. No more Kirk, Robert talk. All that was done. All of it was done. Nobody was focused on the past, even including myself. We didn't care. We were focused on what this team was now and what it was going to be as the future marched on. But the moment that the reconnection to the past came up and the focus on trying to reconnect to the past, our season went right down the hill. And then for a lot of y'all were bringing up the RG3 shit, and Jaden's mom was like, don't wish that on my son. And look at what happened. I never said anything about the connection to RG3. Only time I said it was when he was first being drafted, and I said he doesn't protect himself that well. But I haven't talked about that since. And that was the thing. Everybody, RG3, he's getting injured. That's what everybody kept saying. But guess what? That wouldn't have been the talk if there wasn't this desperation to connect to a failing past. A past that, yeah, guess what? 1992, that was so long ago. That was so long ago. We're not that team anymore. It feels good. Sometimes it's hard. One thing about that I always say that I don't want old people in politics. I say that all the time. Because why? When you have old people in politics, they only go off of memory. They don't go off of pushing anything forward, seeing the future, none of that. They never do. The same thing applies to old people in fan bases. They only tell you about the things they remember. They never pay attention to what's the future. Some of them, some fan base, some people in the fan base are still stuck in the 1960s when Jim Crow and all that was still around. And they feel it's okay. They feel that the way you had success is having a white quarterback because guess what? Black quarterbacks don't think. We're not though. The younger fan base, some older people in the fan base, and when I say some, it's a small smidget that understand future. Every time you try to connect to the past, there's nothing wrong with honoring players, but you don't have to wear the uniforms. You don't have to wear the uniforms. In fact, I don't think we've won in any season when we've connected the past to the future. Whenever there's been an alumni game or an honoring game, I don't think we've ever won those games. I don't think we've ever won those games. I don't think we won the Brian Mitchell game. I don't think we won the Darryl Green game. I don't think we won the Art Monk game. I don't think we won any of those games. And I understand that y'all might sit up there and be like, John, you being a little dramatic now. It can't be the uniforms, man. Like we was just having a bad season and that's just it. I mean, we couldn't overcome injuries. And that's what I'm saying. The injuries was just out of nowhere. We had a fantastic season last year. The same grouping of people that's here is the same people that the medical staff and all. It's the same people. It's the exact same people. Somehow, some way, Everything goes down the tunnel. The moment they announced that we were going to be wearing those old uniforms. The moment it was announced. Because everybody forget, the negotiations with Terry was already bad. But right after that, to calm the fan base down, they announced. Oh, you know, let's get the fans off of this Terry. Let's get the fans off of this Terry thing. We're gonna wear the old uniforms. Downhill. I wish we could have won this game. I wish it would have been a better game. I do feel that, and understand this, we're going to have to relive all of this. All of this insane disaster of a season, we're going to have to relive it all when Hard Knocks start up in December. Oh, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all forgot about that. Yeah. We'll be showcased on Hard Knocks this year. Yeah, Hard Knocks in season. Yep. Washington will be one of the teams. They're showcasing the entire NFC East. And for us to be on that show and see our season basically go into the toilet, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Sad day. Like I said, man, it was sad to see Jaden go down. It really was. It really was. And I'm going to say it, and I know people don't want to hear it. Let's not connect the past anymore. I don't want to see us. I'm going to tell y'all something. I felt before the game even started, when they were running out in between those W's, a feeling of dread came over me when I saw those uniforms. And I know for a fact, if I felt that dread, I know I wasn't the only person who felt that. I know I wasn't the only person who felt that same dread come over them when they came running out on those uniforms. And when I felt that dread, I knew something was going to happen. And what it was we saw the end of our season. 9 games in, our season is done. Y'all tell me what y'all think. What were y'all thoughts on this game? It was a bad game. Do y'all feel that I'm tripping? That I'm blaming the uniforms because I'm just not processing this well? I feel that the uniforms and the name is cursed. And once we get completely away from it, I think that's when we'll see success again. But it's not about honoring players. They can still honor the players, but I just think that every time they want to have something, every time they want to connect back to that failure of a franchise, and understand Dan Snyder's stench is on that. I just feel that once that happens, once you did that and you connected it back to it, we went downhill after that. Like I said, I remember the moment they announced the uniform thing, the Terry negotiations went very bad. I mean, they were already bad, but they got even worse after that. I mean, after that, that's when we got the Eastern Motors press conference, and it just went downhill. Like I said, tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel? Like, comment, subscribe. Hell, give me all y'all comments, because for real, I got to know. I got to know how y'all feel. How do y'all really feel? Say it. Reach out to me. How do y'all really feel about this, man? I mean, this was crazy. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.